Hello, my name is Gloria, and I love to dance, and art, and music, and theater, all kinds of fun things like that.
In this play, I played Lady Boxington.
And then, of course, took care of the kids a lot, the grandkids. Back in 1986, I was doing jazzercise 5 times a week. And I thought, oh, I think I have walking pneumonia. Went into the doctor, and it all turned out I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so from there, it was cobalt radiation. A couple years before COVID, I could really tell my heart was not quite right. There was something not right. Then there was a point where I had to see a cardiologist because of the blood pressure issues, and they were watching the heart, and in particular the aortic valve. They saw some leakage, which got worse and worse and worse. I had an appointment with Dr. Orlandi, who's with the Minneapolis Heart Institute, and he said, I want you to see Dr. cherishes. Introduced me, and my appointment was on a Tuesday, I believe, and on a Monday night at 1 in the morning, I was 911 into the hospital, Abbott. It was regurgitating 80% into the heart. And Dr. cherishes, he needed to go in through the vessels and do his magic. And what happened was I went in an experimental study that he had to really fight to get me in. The research study was vital because without me being in that research study, I would not have this wonderful valve that saved my life. It's just so reassuring because you're being checked constantly, and if something's not right, it's pinpointed immediately and dealt with. I felt like I could tackle the world for 9 days. And I had developed a left heart bundle branch, and I got my pacemaker. Of course, doing all the visits with the heart to be sure the valve was working properly for the study. Then they'd have to watch it every 3 months, 6 months, year. I look forward to the appointments, and this last one I was so looking forward to because I knew they'd do the echo and see how everything was doing. And I don't mind the appointments. It's much more reassuring to be in it because you're being constantly monitored, and it was just a perfect valve working perfectly, but they noticed July 2023, it was obvious the mitral valve was leaking, and we got to the point where it needed to be replaced. And there again, we must go to a study. I actually got it in January of 2024. And then we proceeded on with watching the Cephea mitral valve. When they went in with the mitral valve, they went into one heart chamber through the septum into the other heart chamber, made a hole. Well, it had healed after the surgery, so I was just fine. Although it opened up, I think, within 6 months. And the team went in and they closed it up. And I just had the annual for this Cephea valve, and it's good. And now we're just continuing to watch the heart and work on the heart function. I'd like to be able to just get back into some of my dancing classes, Nia and Tai Chi. I'm cooking now more. I mean, there was a point where I wasn't even cooking. They really need to pursue the goals of research and keep digging in and finding new options and new ways of dealing with the body. They wanted to deny me, and I'm just so grateful that Dr. cherishes continued to pursue and say, no, she's a good candidate. I believe this is going to work for her. I want this to be in her life. I think I want to just defy the odds and prove to the world that you can have all this happen and still survive and have quality life. So I think that's part of my motivation.